Hi everyone, today I'm doing this makeup tutorial for you. It's just a really easy, everyday sort of smoky eye. I'll zoom you up on the eyes here so you can see what it looks like. So this is the eye look. It's just using some really pretty warm colors, some neutral colors. It's just really nice and easy and sort of smoky. It's like what I would classify as an everyday eye look for me. And then I just sort of did a corally cheek and then a nude lip to pair up with the smoky eyes. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I recreated this look, then just keep on watching. Okay, bye-bye. So the first thing that I did was primed my eyelid using the NARS eyeshadow base, and now I'm going to move on to my first eyeshadow, which is the NYX Nude Matte eyeshadow. Ooh, there we go. And this is in the shade Get Naked. Come on. You know you want to focus. There we go. So this is sort of like a mustardy yellow, light brown shade. It's kind of unique, which is why I purchased it. And I've been scared to wear it for a while because I don't have anything like it. I've never tried a color like this on me. But yeah, I decided to go for it today and I really like the way it looks. So I'm just using my, this is the Sonia Kashuk large shader brush. And I'm just going to apply this all over my eyelid. And I'm sort of taking this up my crease a little bit too because this is going to work as our transition blending type of a shade. So we're pretty much putting this everywhere except for the brow bone. So once we have that all over our lids, the next step is to take a matte sort of greenish neutral shade. I don't know. This is another NYX Nude Matte eyeshadow and this is in the shade Confession. And again, there we go. So this is what that looks like. It's sort of like a green with brown undertones. So I'm going to take this on the same exact brush, just get a little bit on there. And just so you guys know, I haven't done my foundation or concealer or anything like that because with these darker shades, you know, you have to kind of worry about fallout a little bit. So I'm just taking this and I'm going to pat this on the outer portion of my eyelid. So just taking it on this outer third and then taking the brush just sort of, I don't know, diagonally a little bit. We're going to put this in our crease as well. And then once we get to this point, I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and just go around the edges and blend it a little bit. You can see that these eyeshadows, they blend really, really nicely. So once you've gotten your desired darkness, you can obviously make this darker, lighter, whatever you want to do. I'm going to take a really dark brown eyeshadow, and I'm actually going into the Urban Decay Vice palette for this, and I'm using the shade Muse, which is that brown right there. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, but I find that the shimmer doesn't really translate much onto the eyelid. And I'm going in with that fluffy brush again, and I'm just going to kind of take, here, let me see if I can show you, the tip of this brush and just dot it in there ever so slightly because this color is extremely pigmented. So we don't want too much of it, otherwise we're going to look a little bit crazy. And then this is just going to go into the outer V just to add a little bit more definition, make the look a little bit more interesting by layering the colors up. Then I just wiped off this brush and I'm going to go in here and work on just blending out the colors a little bit. Because we want this to look really nice and faded. We don't want any harsh lines or anything like that. After this, I'm going to take the shade Anonymous from the, oh, there is Anonymous, from the Urban Decay Vice palette again. And I'm going to take this on just this little tiny brush that I have that I like to use for highlighting and apply this right underneath my brow bone. After that, it's time to line our eyes. I'm just going to go in and do my favorite lining method, which is taking a push liner brush and Blackout from the Naked 2 palette, which is just a matte black. I mean, you can use any matte black for this, and stamp this right at my lash line. And then after this, of course, we're going to take the L'Oreal Extra Black Carbon, or wait, blah, blah. It's the Carbon Black Extra Intense Liquid Eyeliner Pencil, like I don't say this enough, and run this up on our tight line. As well as on, once I get this little fuzzy out of my eyelashes, on my waterline. For mascara today, I'm using my beloved CoverGirl Clump Crusher, which is one of my favorite, or I guess it is kind of becoming my favorite mascara of all time now. Just going to apply a few coats of this. And yeah, that is the completed eyeliner. The next step is, of course, just to clean up anything that may have fell or dropped down. I'm using just a little Q-tip thing to do this. Going underneath my lash line, and I don't know, for some reason I tend to get fallout like on this side of my face a lot, so just patting over those areas and making sure that I don't have any of that going on. So anyway, after you have cleaned up all your fallout, I'm then going to go in with concealer, or if you're doing this look, you will. And I'm going to use my Maybelline Dream Lumi Touch Concealer in the shade Ivory, and just put this sort of like in this inner part of my eye there. Just where I tend to get most dark. And then I'm going to use my Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer in Fair/Light and apply this more towards the outer parts here and just sort of blend it in a little bit with the Maybelline concealer. And I'm just doing this because the Maybelline concealer is a little bit too light for me and the Rimmel one's a little bit too dark. So I mix them together and I get my perfect shade, but if you can find a shade, obviously, that matches you perfectly, you don't have to use both. You could use just one. They're really, really great concealers. And then I'm just going to use my finger to blend this in. And then to set that under a concealer, I just take the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Setting Powder, and I use this with this brush here from Sonia Kashuk, as I'm trying to grab for it. Looks like this. It's just a really, really large, fluffy crease brush. I use this sometimes for highlighting, so just wipe that off and then go in here with this powder. And I just use a really, really little amount. I just have some in the cap here. And you just need a really, really minimal amount of this product. I just go here in here and sort of set the concealer so it won't budge throughout the day or crease. Alrighty, so I'm just going to finish completing the rest of my face and then I'll be right back. So as for the rest of my face, I started by bronzing. I used my e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzing powder, and obviously, I used the bronzing side. And then for blush, I used the Milani Baked Blush. This is in Luminoso. I use this all the time. Literally, it is one of my most used blushes. It's just a beautiful peachy color because I wanted something sort of warm to work with the warm tones that we have going on in the eyes. Then for brows, I used Anastasia's Brunette Brow Powder Duo and a new brow gel that I've been trying out. It's the Prestige Brow Perfection. Picked this up at Ulta. And then for the lips, I just slapped on a nude gloss. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lip Gloss in Nude Luster, which is one of my favorite lip glosses of all time. It's my favorite nude. And no foundation. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I will zoom you up on the eyes here just real quick so you can kind of see. It's just really smoky and pretty, and I like the way it turned out. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Alright, so this is the completed look. As for the rest of my face, I used... Hello?